Good morning, people of YouTube. So we are back again this 4th of July weekend with probably one of the most fun decks I've ever played. This is Zubagon Punch OTK. So the entire purpose of this deck is to resolve Zubagon Punch and then just wipe out their security. And Black is just strong enough this set that even if you don't resolve Zubagon Punch, you're still in an advantageous position most of the time because your stacks just have really good inheritables. And even with the level 5 that they added Gogmamon, you can Digiburst 3 times on himself and then swing over other level 6s as a 13k beater. So Black just has a lot more viable tempo options. And there's just a lot more tools that the deck has access to with set 4 and with the addition of the new starter deck. So I'm going to go ahead and read to you Zubagon Punch, let you in on the secret of the deck. It says, target one of your Digimon, it gets plus 3,000 until the end of your opponent's next turn. Then if that Digimon has 16,000 or more, that Digimon gains Blocker, Reboot, and Security Attack plus 1 as well until the end of your opponent's next turn. So the entire goal is to push some of your 12Ks above 13K with just easy boost, and then hit them. You hit them for all of their security, or at least most of them, and then you evolve into Chaosmon and hit them for the rest, because if you evolve, you will still maintain all of the boosts that you gave the stack. So you still get to keep the effects of Zubagon Punch on Chaosmon when you evolve into it. So you'll swing with your level 6, evolve into this, unsuspend yourself, swing with this, and then reboot during their turn and have a 17,000 blocker at the bare minimum. So that's the entire point of this deck. So I felt like it was important to explain the punch first before we go into the options and the Digimon and the eggs and all that. So we'll go ahead and start off with the eggs now. We got 4 Kapurimon. This is the one that says if you have Blocker, you get plus 1,000. And then I have 1 Kapurimon that says if you have Reboot, you get plus 1,000. The reason I'm playing 4 of this one is because in the level 5 lineup, we got a new Megadramon that has the inheritable effect of Blocker. So with it, Megadramon and with Gogmamon, anytime you evolve on top of your level 5, if this is still in your stack, you're going to have 13,000 power on all of your 12k bases, because no matter what, you'll be getting a 1,000 boost. And then Kapurimon is just the next most consistent egg. You play more rookies than you do level 5s, so the odds of getting Toyagumon in your stack are less than getting a Megadramon. So that's why I went with this ratio. But you still can get Toyagumon in your stack, so it's still worth it to play 5 eggs, I feel. Especially since this deck has so many blockers, and it's such a grindy deck until you're ready to punch them for game. Onto the rookies. I got a single copy of Chumon. Wish I could play more. Might try to find room to put in a second one. But for now, we are only playing 1, because it just completely shuts out a lot of matchups in the meta currently. I have 4 copies of Toyagumon. He gives you Reboot. Reboot is good. I have 3 copies of the new Toyagumon from the Black starter deck. This one will let you draw a card if your opponent didn't attack you, which gives Black an actual consistent draw engine, because if you evolve a blocker on top of this, then you've shut out Rookie Rush for at least a little bit, and you're drawing more cards. And any sort of Imperial deck or just aggro deck, if you can get behind blockers and then draw more cards than them, you're gonna win that game. The other level 3 with the inheritable skill that we're playing is the Sunarizumon. That gives you the Digiburst recycling mechanic, so it will just go back to your hand if you Digiburst it away. And that's really nice, because you have Gogmamon, you have Black War Greymon, you have a couple of cards that do utilize Digiburst, but not too many. Which is why I'm only playing 2. But getting a constant flow of rookie is always good, especially late game. And then we have 2 Gatsumon. I'm not playing the Agumon from the starter deck. We got a new blocker from the starter deck that is a level 3 that can attack, as opposed to this Gatsumon. But the thing is Agumon is only a 1k base, which means he gets popped by Koromon and stuff, and yellow is the most prevalent matchup right now, so I feel like Gatsumon is better specifically in this format. Moving on, Agumon will be better, but right now Gatsumon is, and Gatsumon can still take out Vmons and things like that, whereas Agumon can't, so I think it still has a niche this meta. And the last two rookies I'm playing is Hagurumon. These could be Commandramon if you like Commandramon more. I just chose to play the Gear Boy. But having a 2-cost vanilla rookie that you can just play and get some cheap chains up is always good, especially since some of the times you are going to want to keep a stack in the raising area, but you do want to just play a rookie and then evolve it into like a Dark Tyranno or something. So having 2-cost vanillas is still very important. Moving right along to the level 4s, I am playing 2 copies of the new starter deck Greymon. This one has the same inheritable effect as the starter deck Toyagumon, that just says if your opponent doesn't attack, you get to draw a card. Again, I'm playing 5 of these inheritable effects in total, which makes it pretty likely that I'm going to be drawing some cards if I can shut my opponents out of attacking. Next, I'm playing 2 copies of Golemon. So, I don't see anybody really playing this card, but what it does is it says on every turn, all of your black Digimon get plus 1000 DP. That's your turn, that's your opponent's turn. It includes himself, which is kind of nice. So if you get 2 of these out, then you know they're 5000s, which is still mediocre. But what it does is it's a 4-cost to play normally, just like this. So if you brick, you know you can play these and still be in a good position. But for all of your 11,000 power dudes, you need at least 1 more boost aside from your level 5 inheritables to get you to 13,000. So having this card on board makes sure that you hit that. In addition, this makes all of your blockers stronger. It makes your cards harder to swing over. It's just actually amazing, this format, and I really like it. The one thing is it does get popped by like War Growlmon and stuff. So you do have to be careful about that. But there's enough times where this card just gets me over things. Like I was in a position where I needed to swing over a Needhog, and this was able to get my level 6 up to 14,000 and be able to do it, you know? So there are times that this is very necessary, and I thought it was going to be a little bit worse than it was, and then I started playtesting, and I just realized how good Golemon is in a punch-based deck. So if you're playing just standard black, you don't really have to play Golemon unless you're playing like big black blockers or something. However, in the punch variant, I really, really love Golemon, and I highly recommend you try it out. I'm playing 2 copies of Tankmon as a 1-cost to evolve into, and 4 copies of Dark Tyrannomon as another 1-cost to evolve into. Plus he's a blocker. Blockers are good. A 5th blocker in the level 4 lineups I'm playing is Gardramon. It's a 7,000 DP, so War Greymon can't just pop it for free. You need at least 1 other boost with War Greymon in order to destroy this card. Plus it's only a 5-cost to play normally, which is still relatively cheap. If you're late game and you just need to start slapping down blockers, this is a good one to use. And the last level 4 I'm playing is a single copy of Babungamon. I really don't know how to feel about this card. I haven't resolved it yet, but I think I still need to play test it more. This card, it's very likely that this card just gets cut for a 3rd copy of Tankmon, just to make the level 4 lineup a little bit more consistent. But I did want to give it a try, since I am playtesting new cards in a relatively new color to me. But, yeah, no, Babungamon hasn't done anything yet. So, he might just get axed for another copy of Tankmon. But those are my level 4 lineups. Again, Golemon and Greymon are MVPs. Like, I highly recommend you try those out, and everything else in the level 4 lineup is just kind of standard. But the level 5 lineups is where the deck starts to get pretty cool. We have 4 copies of this new Megadramon, which has the inheritable effect of blocker. Again, with the Kapurimon, this will give you the 1k boost as well. and make you a blocker. Making level 6 blockers in black is amazing. Like, Craniumon got play. So, this just makes other cards better than Craniumon. Then we have 4 copies of Gogmamon. This is a card I still need to pick up a 4th copy of for myself, so I will be doing that this week at locals. But this is one of those cards that also helps with the boost for the punch. It has the inheritable effect of all turns. This Digimon gets plus 1,000, which gets you there. And then it also has a Digiburst 1 that says one of your Digimon gets plus 2k until the end of your opponent's next turn. So you can, if you have the 3 sources on this, you can Digiburst on itself and get it up to 13,000 so that it hits the requirement for the punch just as a level 5, which I was doing a lot in playtesting. That's amazing. This card can also just stay in the raising area, and then you can promote it whenever they swing with a level 6, and then you Digiburst away all your things, and then swing over their level 6 with a level 5. That's also fun. Gogmamon is an amazing card, and it is the only level 5 I think that is non-negotiable. You have to play 4 of it if you are playing black. And again, I'm just glad that it's only like $5 at the time of this recording, because I still need to pick up a 4th copy for myself. But the last level 5 in the deck is Giromon. If I had a promo Infamon, I think this would be the Infamon instead. But this does provide you a option as a 6 cost to play level 5, so it does help with bricks. And it does give you the inheritable effect that on your opponent's turn, the Digimon gets 1,000 DP. So it makes it a little bit harder to swing over. I think as far as a 9th level 5 goes, this is one of the better ones that you could choose. But I don't think Giromon is entirely necessary. These 8 are the ones that are necessary. I'm just playing a 9th level 5 to balance out my numbers and make it more likely that I don't get level locked. But on to the level 6s, and these are the cards that you're going to be punching with most of the time. I have 3 copies of Hyandramon. You don't really see the vanillas outside of Megazoo anymore, but they're very good. It's a just cheap card to evolve into. If you get left with 4 memory, you can evolve into this and punch, which is easy. It's also good for memory locking your opponent, and most of your good effects come from your inheritables, so having a cheap option to evolve into is important. This is the most important level 6 in the deck. Even though we're playing a bunch of fancy ones, this is the most consistent one. On to the fancy ones, I play 1 copy of Blitzgreymon. It can evolve from black, and de-digivolving is amazing this format. If you're playing against an opponent that is playing a bunch of Digiburst effects like yellow or green, there's a chance that this card just blows them out whenever you evolve into it. Plus, it has piercing, so if you get piercing in addition to the effects of the punch, then it doesn't even matter if they block you, which is always nice. So I think it is worth it to play the 1 copy of the Blitzgreymon. Onto some more level 6s, we play 1 copy of Crania. It's a blocker that makes your blockers indestructible, and since you're playing 4 copies of Megadramon, you run into some very, very funny situations where you can just take a Craniumon and just make your entire level 6 lineup just indestructible. So I do really like that. Plus, he protects himself, so if you give him the 1k boost on anything, or with any of the boosts in the deck, like the Kapurimon or the Gogmamon, then with the punch, even if you swing into like Gaia Force or something, you aren't dying. So Craniumon is absolutely amazing, but I don't know if I'd play more than 1 of it, because I still think Hyandramon is more important. But you could really realistically go to 2 and 2. You could cut 1 of these for a 2nd copy of any of these level 6s that I'm about to show you. Another one that I'm really considering going up on is the Black War Greymon. The reason I'm not is because he's only an 11,000. So this is where the Golemon comes in clutch, because you can get into really hilarious situations where you have a Golemon and the Black War Greymon out, and you're able to Zubagon punch the Black War Greymon and then get 3 attacks off with the effects of Punch. So, that's amazing. It's a good card, and I'm very, very happy that Bt4 Greymon finally has a printing that is, like, usable in its color, because the original Bt4 Greymon was pretty much only viable in green. We have a single copy of Machine Dramon, because, again, de-digivolving is amazing this format. You can blow out Shine Greymon stacks. You can also blow out War Greymon stacks. You can ruin your opponent's day if they're trying to get up into a Nidhogg or a Grand Kawagamon or any of those situations. And I think it's still worth it to play the one of. I would consider going up to 2, but I need to test more in order to determine if that's a good idea. But this is the level 6 lineup I'm playing right now. It works very well for me. I think 7 is the correct number, and one of them is a one that you kind of want to hard play, so I really like what I have going on in the level 6 lineup, and it's testing very consistently for me. On to the level 7s. I want to go over Chaosmon, which lets you get an attack again when you Digivolve. This is free spot removal. And it pierces, so with the punch, it's really good. Alex Michael was a player that played at the most recent Bandai webcam tournament, and he got 5th place with a variant of the punch deck, so I do want to shout out to him real quick, because I don't think I've done it yet this video. This is like my 3rd time trying to record this. But, he was able to play in a tournament where I played 5 yellow matches in a row, and he was able to get punch into Chaos and just blow out a lot of the competition, and he placed 5th at a tournament with over 240 participants. So, this card, with this card, is the entire purpose of the deck. And you have to play at least 3. I think you could go up to 4, but I think 4 is kind of bricky. Just like I think you could go up to 3 Zubagon punches, but I think doing that is kind of bricky. You're usually going to see it when you need it. And then the last 3 cards of the deck, we have one more level 7. I am playing an Alter S. It's just really good, this format. There's a lot of... they introduced the blockers that are 5,000 power, so you can kind of de-Digivolve stacks and blow them out. Plus, there's a lot of things that are just weaker this format, and again, people are Digibursting away a lot of their sources, so there's a very, very high chance that Alter S will win you most of the games that you do drop it. So I think it's definitely worth including. I just don't think I would go up to a 5th level 7, because then you run into like the Red Omnimon territory where you get kind of clunky just because of the number of level 7s that you have to play. But there are 2 cards left in the deck, and they are both Izzy. This is the new best memory tamer that Black has access to, and if your opponent ever hits it in security, it kind of acts like a pseudo Hammer Spark, because you can just gain a memory off of it. The only cards in the deck that you can hit off of the Izzy that will not make you gain a memory are these 4 level 7s, which is another reason I kind of want to keep the level 7s as a 4 count in the deck. But yeah, that's the punch. This profile went on a little bit longer than I anticipated, but there's a lot of nuanced combo pieces that kind of needed to be gone over, so I hope I did the deck justice. And again, shout out to Alex Michael for placing 5th at Top Cut, and I will probably find his deck profile, because I know it's out there somewhere, and link it down below. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys let me know what you think in the comments, and like and subscribe, all that jazz. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.